In other news, a 55-year-old teacher from Mqanduli in the Eastern Cape was gunned down earlier this week. An unknown gunman approached her vehicle, as she was heading to work and fired 4 shots. 2 passengers managed to escape. Newzroom Afrika's Liyema Vumisa is live to us with more on this story. Liyema, and we were hoping to hear from your guests just earlier, but we, of course, had to interrupt that interview. What else did they have to say?
That's right, Michelle. And of course, being in the business of live TV, we certainly understand what transpired earlier on. But that very same person was an eyewitness who was reiterating then the incident from her perspective of what transpired at, that area that we were a little bit earlier on. Right now, though, we have moved and changed the locations, but of course, still in Mqanduli. We are right now at where the 55-year-old teacher, in fact, resided at. This is the house that she was staying at together with the rest of her family. Joining me right now are 2 people, one of which is actually the student teacher that managed to escape that attack in the vehicle with the 55-year-old teacher. And the other person joining me right now is, of course, her daughter, who are going to reflect on her life. Of course, we are not going to show their faces as they're still fearing for their safety. Let me start with you, Bodi. Ubukhona phaya emotweni kwenzeke ntoni ngelixesha kusehla esasehlo?
So siphume apha eyadini ngo-6:30, then sibheke esikolweni. So yahamba imoto ihamba kancinci ube gravel imbi. So kwakhona umuntu oza ngaphambili. Asimnanga, it's a normal person but unxibe ihoodie. Then uyeza lo muntu. Mina ndiface eback because besigibele ivan in lane na 2-seaters ngaphambili, uhleli yedwa pha umawo odabs, then thina singasemva. So iyahamba imoto, kukho lo muntu abe ngathi yedlula emotweni, but then ajike speed abethe izithonga pha esi1. Mina ndijike ndicemba okanye mhlawumbe imoto ibetheka esibondeni kuba sihamba ezantsi kwegadi. Ndicimba imoto ibetheka esibondeni, no, kubethwa izithonga. Xa ndiphukuza ifestile ifile, and then kukhala izithonga ezininzi. So thuke silalisa inhloko phansi because lo muntu ushola kasiboni. Then ngoku sikhale izithonga zibe zininzi. Xa ndikobisa inhloko nayo ngathi iyadutyulwa udabisa ngaphambili, then siphinde silale. Ime imoto ke ngoku for like 5 seconds. Then iphinde futhi silindile ngosazi uba kuzotsho ukuthini njengoba kukhale izithonga kwatsho kwathuleka. Then igqume imoto ibaleke ngoku. Sicinga uba idriver ngulo muntu or something. Then igqume ibaleke imoto xa ndiphakamisa inhloko akukho muntu ngaphambili. But udabsi ndambona futhi ulele ngecala apha emotweni. Ayidrive ngumuntu imoto. Inoba unyawo liyazibethela lapha kwipedal. Then izihambela imoto ityhoboze iyadi yokuqala, idlule ityhoboze iyadi yesibini eyimotuary. Then iyobreka ngoku seyiphuma kule yadi yesibini, ibreke phaya ime. Then ndimkwece ndithi masiphume sibaleke, sivule ucango sijampe soyi-2, sibaleke siyama ngale motuary, ezantsi kwemotuary sifike sihlale pha. Kube khona abantu abakhwazayo bathi nanku lo muntu ebaleka apha emasimini. Then abaleke lo muntu ongena etheni awele ithe kuthiwa uyabaleka uyangapha ngezantsi. Then thina siphume ngapha basibizwa ngabantu ngasebefikile pha emotweni bathi hayi udabsi akasekho, then sabuya ekhaya.
Nikwazile nina benikhona emotweni ngaphakathi ukumbona lo muntu ebedubula?
Hayi nakancinci khasikwazi ukumbona.
All right, Michelle, I'm just going to move right now and talk to the daughter who was not present at the time of the incident, but of course is the daughter of the now deceased teacher. Sisi, I can imagine kunzima, kubuhlungu, ulahlekelwe ngumzali wakho. Uziva njani?
Engakusho ngoku senda nambu. I don't know uba ndicinge yena kwazi ucinga nje. I feel like ndinenzondo. Yonke lena I feel like liphupha ngathi nisazawuvuka kuthiwe kuyaxoka bokuphupha. I mean denial andikwazi iprocess. I don't know uba ndizohila na. Ndawucinga back apho sisuka khona nomama. Kubuhlungu. I don't know uba ndizophinde kuthini.
Ungathini kulo muntu owenze lento ukufuna ijustice for ukubulawa kukamama wakho?
Mama abengumthandazi, abengumuntu onepeace, abenganganto uxabana nabantu, abenganto inqonelela umuntu oyimbi emntwini. Kodwa bangavela I know akho nto sizawuyenza kodwa bangavela andazi but ngasangavela.
All right. Koskakul. As you can hear for yourself, Michelle, the two young people, they are very distraught at the incident that occurred here. Of course, the student teacher who was in that vehicle reiterating that very same incident that transpired there, and said that at first they had thought initially that whatever that they heard might have been the car bumping on the bumpy road or the gravel here, but then upon realizing that it's actually bullets, that is when then they tried to duck and hide so that they could not be able to catch those bullets. And then seeing the faceless, or rather the selfless person that they knew the 55-year-old teacher to be, laying there without any breath coming out, he says that is when he realized that she had in fact passed away, and that's when the people started to gather. Of course, the daughter also mentioning that she is distraught. She has lost a person that she had confidence would be able to, in colloquially terms, ride or die with her. But unfortunately, that now has been taken away from her. And that she explains that the mother was even a community leader amongst the area here, and even a person that was a pastor of the religious sector, saying that they have indeed suffered a very tremendous loss.
Liyema, of course, police are unlikely to reveal any information into their investigations, but has anything been said about a possible motive?
Certainly, Michelle. What we understand right now from the South African Police Service, who were in fact on the scene at the time the incident happened, they did inform us that currently they do not understand the motive. Be that as it may, though, they are very much aware of the rise of teacher killings in and around the Eastern Cape, particularly in areas such as these, Mqanduli, Coffee Bay, Tsolo, Libode, because this incident of a teacher being brutally murdered is not the first of its kind. But of course, as under investigations still continue to be underway at this current juncture, they do not know the motive and no suspects have been arrested.